Donald Trump didn't fail to disrupt Barron Trump's graduation, as he publicly slammed his own son for not acknowledging him in his speech. Barron only acknowledged his mother, Melania Trump, which infuriated Trump to the point that he started ranting at his son in front of the crowd. In the video footage we will show you in this video, you can see the spectators were very surprised and had to remind Trump that he was ranting at his son before he could even stop and stay quiet. What was Trump really thinking before doing that? Was it his dementia getting the better of him? Or is this how he treats his kid at home? Surely, this might be the reason Barron Trump often appears sad. Melania was so ashamed that she even covered her face with her hat. Good day, dear viewers, and welcome to the channel. If you're new to this channel, please support us by hitting the subscribe button. Also, please ensure to hit the bell button so you'll be the first to know when I drop a new video. Barron Trump, the son of Melania Trump, recently celebrated his graduation at the age of 18, marking a significant achievement for the Trump family. However, a few uncomfortable situations arose throughout the ceremony. As the graduating class made their way across the stage to collect their diplomas, the grand tradition of playing Pomp and Circumstance began. But rumors suggest that Melania and Donald Trump, among others, were taken aback by the unorthodox music that may have played during Barron's graduation. The ceremony began with Barron making his way to the stage to the sound of Bastille's Pompeii playing in the background. Given the band's history of attacking conservatives like Donald Trump, this musical selection may have caused some unease. Some saw Bastille's 2016 single, The Currents, as a scathing indictment of Trump and UK politician Nigel Farage. Dan Smith, the lead singer, said that the song was a criticism of public figures who voice extreme opinions. Despite this, the Trump family kept their cool and celebrated Barron's accomplishment without letting the potentially uncomfortable choice of music derail them. Although the inclusion of Bastille's song at the graduation ceremony was unexpected, it did not diminish the importance of the event for the Trump family. Standing proudly in his graduation regalia, Barron, who is 6'7", tall, towered above his peers. Melania sported a white pencil skirt and a $5,000 Dior jacket, accessorized with a straw boater hat by Gucci. She wore an elegant dress, but her pride in her son on his special day shone through. Judith James, an authority on body language, studied Melania's expression as she attended her son's graduation. According to the Express, she implied that the former First Lady exhibited a more carefree and humorous demeanor than usual. Melania appears much more at ease and attached to her husband than she usually does in this photo. She seems to be bending over backwards to face him, and her hands, when she crosses them over her lap, face him as well. Despite her husband's ongoing legal troubles, Melania seemed to be enjoying herself at the ceremony. Barron was clearly proud of his son as he crossed the graduation platform. Their youngest had reached an important milestone, and even Donald seemed touched. Melania raised an upward-pointed hand as she clapped, making her applause look personal, like any proud mom. Donald's pose beside her suggested a moment of quiet reflection as he watched, with his hands placed in a downward steeple pose, indicating he might have been slightly overcome by the occasion. Melania Trump is famously unflappable. Consider her 2019 appearance at a youth opioid summit in Baltimore, where she was heckled and interrupted from her entry until the end of her remarks. Despite the unbroken background of jeers, Melania did her best to address the opioid issue with her Be Best program. The previous contentious remarks made by Donald Trump regarding Baltimore, in which he said the city was afflicted with rats and rodents, added fuel to the fire of her unfriendly greeting. According to NBC, the heckling at the Baltimore Youth Summit continued for about a minute while Melania spoke. No matter how much she tried to keep talking, the rowdy crowd kept talking over her. "Everyone here, especially the students, has my deepest gratitude," Melania said as she began her remarks, expressing admiration for the courage shown by those who had come out to admit they had been profoundly impacted by the opioid crisis. In addition, Melania emphasized that raising awareness and fostering education about these matters will consistently rank high on her list of objectives. "I will not back down from this struggle. In fact, I will fight for you," she said. "Talk to an adult you trust, whether it's a teacher, parent, friend, grandparent, coach, or pastor. If you're currently battling addiction, I urge you to get support. Asking for help is something you should do at any time," Melania stated. Despite the audience's persistent booing, Melania's address was noticeably brief. When questioned about her first-hand account of the incident, the then First Lady told CNN, "We live in a democracy, and everyone is entitled to their opinion. But the fact is, we have a serious crisis in our country, and I remain committed to educating children on the dangers and deadly consequences of drug abuse." Although this was the first time the First Lady had ever been booed at an independent event, it should be noted that the relationship between the city of Baltimore and the Trump administration had been strained. Protesters were waiting outside Boston Medical Center when the First Lady visited the facility in November 2019. Protesters held placards and chanted against Trump's immigration plans. Many in the audience voiced their displeasure with Melania's visit, with many being hospital staff worried it would be exploited for a public photo op, linking the Trump administration with Boston Medical Center. Nearly one-third of patients at this hospital do not speak English as their first language, according to their website. On May 17, 2024, Barron Trump, the youngest child of former President Donald Trump, graduated from high school. The news that Barron was planning to attend college after receiving his diploma was confirmed to Newsweek by his father, Donald Trump, a few days before the significant event. Despite the contentious nature of his father's political career, the graduation was a momentous occasion for Barron and the Trump family. The relationship between Donald and Barron has often seemed somewhat aloof, possibly explaining why Trump didn't appear particularly touched by the prospect of his son leaving home. Melania, on the other hand, likely experienced a whirlwind of conflicting emotions due to the strong attachment she shares with her son. According to neuropsychologist Dr. Samam Hay of New York City and director of the documentary Comprehend the Mind, who spoke exclusively to the list, the former First Lady's sentiments on Barron's graduation are typical of loving mothers. When a son graduates high school, a mother typically experiences many emotions, often a mix of pride, joy, relief, nostalgia, and sometimes even sadness or anxiety, Dr. Hay explained. Although Melania is elated that her son worked so hard to graduate with honors, the expert explained that she is understandably upset because college will limit her involvement in Barron's life and separate him from her. As Melania watches her son grow up before her eyes, she may even cry a little on top of everything else. She probably has all the right reasons to be worried about his independence, Dr. Hay added. Several women came forward in 2016 with accusations of misconduct against the GOP lawmaker, putting him under intense scrutiny. His wife, nevertheless, felt compelled to offer her thoughts on the accusations, despite how difficult it must have been for her. This was her first public statement on her husband following the accusations. According to a CNN piece from 2016, Anderson Cooper, the news host at the time, interviewed Melania, and she said that she believed her husband. This was all organized by the opposition, she said. Melania implied that her husband might have made some inconsiderate or even insulting comments about women in private. No, I was surprised because I don't know that person who would talk that way. He would say that kind of stuff in private, she stated. By reducing her husband's statements to boy talk, the ex-First Lady strengthened her case. The boys, the way they talk when they grow up and they want to sometimes show each other, oh, this and that, as in talking about girls, she said. Of course, I was astonished. The entrepreneur had been caught on film making inappropriate sexual comments about women. The Washington Post reported that starting in 2005, this was referred to as the Access Hollywood tape. I told my husband that the language was inappropriate, Melania recalled telling Donald about the incident. This cannot be tolerated, plus I wasn't expecting it as that man is very different from the one I know. Melania went on to say that the cameras were not on when her husband was being filmed. In addition, she said that the twice impeached president had engaged in boy talk and been led on, or egged on, by the host to say dirty and bad stuff. Time reported that the ex-First Lady defended her husband and emphasized how gravely wrong it is to touch, kiss, or grope a woman without her consent. Referring to Michelle Obama in her defense, Melania summed up her remarks by making a final forceful statement. Every assault should be dealt with in a court of law. It is harmful and unfair to accuse someone without proof, regardless of gender. With his father by his side, Barron Trump celebrated his high school graduation at Oxbridge Academy in Palm Beach, Florida. The 18-year-old crossed the stage as the happy parents, former President Donald Trump and Melania Trump, watched from the front row. Cheers erupted as Barron and his classmates tossed their caps in the air. Melania, who sported a white pencil skirt, a navy blue jacket, and a wide sun hat, couldn't help but smile broadly. Since Donald has been busy with court appearances this week, it was uncertain whether he would show up. However, he was excused from Friday's Manhattan criminal trial so that he could attend. It is still unclear what the family will do following the ceremony, as Donald is set to be the featured speaker at a Republican event in Minnesota on Friday night. The West Palm Beach, Florida-based private co-educational Oxbridge Academy costs $38,000 annually and serves as a middle and high school that prepares students for college. After his father's presidency ended in 2021, Barron transferred to the academy. He had previously attended the $50,000 per year St. Andrew's School in Maryland. As well as being the youngest of Donald's children, Barron is also the tallest, towering over his older siblings, Eric, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Tiffany. Barron is the only child that Donald and Melania Trump have together. Despite facing multiple criminal charges and seeking re-election, Donald Trump recently spoke about his son's impending college enrollment and expressed his pride in him. Standing tall in the crowd at Barron's high school graduation ceremony, former President Donald Trump was seen on Friday. Melania Trump, standing next to her husband, seemed to be laughing at him in the photo, joining the numerous clapping and smiling people in the audience in Palm Beach, Florida. The former president was present for his son's Oxbridge Academy commencement ceremony on Friday. "I will be attending Barron's high school diploma ceremony. Wonderful young man, excellent learner. That is so cool," Trump posted on his social media site, Truth Social. Barron Trump is the youngest of Trump's children and the only son that the former president shares with Melania. Trump was able to make it to his son's graduation this week, even though he is now on trial for alleged hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels in 2016. The president is being tried in New York City. Trump has maintained his innocence throughout and has accused the investigation of being politically motivated. The former president was permitted to attend his son's graduation, according to New York Supreme Court Justice Juan Merchan, who is supervising the hush money case. This was disclosed last month. According to Merchan's rules, Trump is free to attend Barron's May 17th graduation. With the moving per schedule, it will not be a problem for Trump to attend his son's high school graduation, said Newsweek's Catherine Fung last month. Trump mentioned his alma mater, the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, to journalist Megyn Kelly in September 2023, saying that Barron was thinking about going there and that he is a great student and athlete. Trump went on to say that his son was applying to colleges and added, "Right now, he's doing a great job." During a speech earlier this month, his grades are excellent. Soon, he will be attending university. During the NRA event on May 9th, Trump mentioned that several colleges had changed from 2 months ago. Thank you for watching this video to the end.